So, I got a 5-year-old son. And recently, he's starting to make friends and everything. So recently, I started noticing this little kid riding his bike around my neighborhood. And I'm like, how old is this kid? I see him riding his bike, no helmet, no parental supervision. And I'm like, where's his parents? Why is this kid riding his bike by himself with no helmet on? Did I say that? He had no helmet. Very weird, very strange, but whatever. I mean, what are you going to do? My son, being the little neighborhood yenta that he is, calls this kid over one day. And he's like, hey, what's your name? And the kid's like, Zibidana. What? I'm sorry, could you say that again? Zibidana. What? Zibidana. What? What? We had no idea, so we made up a name for him. Zoryab. I don't really know if that's what his name is. He's like, he's like Middle Eastern. I can't pronounce his name. So, my son makes friends with this kid. But in my head the whole time, I'm sitting there wondering, like, where's this kid's parents? Why is he riding around by himself? I don't care. But my son, when he's 7 years old in 2 years, or in a year and a half, he's not going to be riding around the neighborhood by himself, going to people's houses that he doesn't know. This kid came to play in my house, and I'm like, dude, like, do your parents know you're here? Like, how do they know I'm not a serial killer or a child molester or a psychopath? I don't know. How are you comfortable with that? So I tell the kid the first day he comes over, take my phone number and go give it to your mom and tell her to call me, and then you can come back over when your mom knows where you are. Fine. He comes back about a half hour later, and I'm like, what are you doing here? Where's your mom? Thinking that she would come over. No. So I'm like, does your mom know she's here? He says yes. I let him play for a little while, kick him out. He comes back the next day. I'm telling my husband, like, I don't really feel that comfortable about this kid being at my house when his mom doesn't know where he is. I don't know where he comes from. God forbid something happens to this kid. What do I do? Who do I tell? So my husband's like, I'm going to go over to his house and talk to the mother. He goes over to the house, talks to the mom. She has a little infant newborn baby, and she's just like so lackadaisical about it. Like, oh yeah, he just rides his bike, and it was very bizarre. But he's like, I want you to know where your kid is, Fine. Now, all of a sudden, this kid is coming to my house every single day to hang out with my son. And I don't mind. But during the weekends when my husband's home from work, it's like, we want to have family time, So I tell the kid, listen, come back next week, whatever. He starts coming to my house like nonstop. He's at my house for like 4 or 5 hours a day. I'm giving him food. I don't know if this kid has like peanut allergies or anything crazy like that. So I'm just like, this is a little weird. Finally, it got to a point where there was one day he came at 9 o'clock in the morning. Then he came again at 9:30, 9:45, 10 o'clock. And I see this all on my Ring doorbell. No, you can't be coming here at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry, no, it's too early to play. I wasn't comfortable with this whole thing. He hung out at my house, and the next day my husband was home, and we tell him, listen, dude, Jesse can't hang out tonight. Come back another day. Come back tomorrow, the day after. Well, after telling him like 3 times that my son couldn't play, he came back to my house another 4 times that day. So finally, my husband was getting annoyed. He's like, listen, that's it. I'm going over there, and I'm going to go talk to his parents and tell him, listen, if we tell him that he can't play, he can't be, like, knocking on the door nonstop, dude. He's like, it's, like, a little creepy. He was sitting in front of my house, this kid, just, like, staring at my house. We told you that our son can't play. You cannot come back 100 times. You don't want to be mean to this kid. He's 7 years old, My husband goes over the house. My husband, he's not so friendly sometimes. Not that he's not friendly, but he has a weird way of approaching things. We'll put it like that. Oh boy, this ain't gonna go good. About, 10 minutes later, I see my husband pulling up in the driveway in his truck, and all of a sudden this strange dude gets out of the passenger seat. I'm like, who is this guy? It ends up it's the dad. My husband brought him back to the house to let him see, my backyard and where this kid's hanging out all day. The dad comes over, looking around the yard, and he's like, where's Zoryab? And I'm like, dude, what do you mean, where is he? Like, he's not here. We just told you that. Guy has no idea where his kid is. There's just no clue where his 7-year-old son is. I don't know if it's a culture thing, but what are you missing here, dude? Why do you not know where your kid is? So I explained to the father, I'm like, listen, he's a nice kid. I don't really mind having him here. I just don't feel comfortable with you guys not knowing where he is. Why am I telling these people how to parent? I don't know, but I was. After the dad came, I didn't see Zoryab for a couple of days. He didn't come around, so I was like, oh, maybe the dad didn't like us, whatever. About a week later, he shows back up, riding his bike again, by himself, no helmet. What's going on? But he's got a phone now. That was the solution to the problem. Let's give him a phone. Because, you know, Chester the child molester can't just take the phone and be like, come in my... So, he's at my house yesterday and he shows me the phone he has to connect to my Wi-Fi. And I'm like, dude, the screen is destroyed. It looks like an elephant stepped on it. I'm like, what happened to this thing? You can't even see the screen. So I'm like, so what good is this phone? Is this just a prop for this kid? How is he going to answer the phone when you can't even see 98% of the screen? All you can see is like the time at the top. Is this their solution? Is this how they're parenting and tracking their kid with this broken phone? So, he's at my house yesterday. They playing. My son got in trouble because my son's a little bit of a jerk himself, and he does some stupid shit because he's 5 years old. And he destroyed my elephant ears, and I was very upset with him. We'll get into that another time. So this time, little Zoryab, and I don't let this kid in my house because I have a Doberman, right? You know, God forbid, my dog jumped on him or bit him or something. I just don't want the kid in my house. But they knock on my back door all the time, and they tell me things. Oh, this happened or that happened, and I'm like, yeah. So yesterday, I kicked him out because my son got in trouble. Fast forward a couple of hours. I'm at Target. I'm online doing the self-checkout. I got a phone call from my husband. Chris, yeah, what's going on? Leanna, why is Jesse telling me that Zoryab pooped in the backyard? What? Oh, yeah. He told me that. He told me that earlier today. He came up to the back door and he told me that the kid pooped, and I was just like, whatever. The little kid came up to the back door with my son, and my son's like, Mommy, he pooped. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, saying he pooped outside in the bush. I'm like, yeah, all right, Jesse, go ahead, go play. And I asked the kid too. I'm like, did you poop in the bush? And with his big, eyes, he's like the little cat from Shrek, with his big eyes. No. He's lying. So I take the kid's word for it, and I'm like, go ahead, go play, whatever. They make shit up all the time. My son's a liar. He makes all sorts of stories up. Like, tells me all these crazy stories all the time. It never happened. Back to Target. We're on the phone, and my husband's like, well, Leanna, why would Jesse be making this up? I mean, why would he just say that? He just brought it out of nowhere, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't know, Chris. Why don't you do this? Why don't you take Jesse, bring him in the backyard, and tell him to show you where the kid pooped. I'm expecting this to now just disappear, right? About 10 minutes later, I get a phone call from my husband. Yeah, Leanna? Chris, yeah. Yeah, that was definitely a human shit in the backyard. What? Are you serious? Are you sure it wasn't cat poop or something like that? Like, what? So you're telling me that this kid pooped in the backyard? Yeah, no, he's never coming to our house again. This little mother effer went in my backyard, pulled his little pants down, and decided to poop in my bushes. What kind of savage poops in a backyard? But that's not even the worst part in my eyes. The worst part, he didn't even wipe his ass. Okay, we don't have toilet paper outside. Who keeps toilet paper outside? What? So the kid not only pooped in my backyard, he proceeded to run around my backyard with his dirty, unwiped ass and his poop hands. Like, is this real life right now? This cannot be real. This can't be real. No. Serious as a heart attack. This kid pooped in my backyard and did not wipe his ass. I mean, is this what the world's coming to? Needless to say, Zoryab, or whatever the hell his name is not going to be coming to our house anymore. Like, how do I explain this to his mother? I'm sorry, yeah, whatever your name is, lady who never came to my house and doesn't even know who I am. Yeah, this is the girl who's been babysitting your son for free for the last 3 weeks. So I don't want your son at my house anymore because, he kind of shit in my bushes. Like, how am I even going to bring this up? What do I do? What do I do? My son told me that this kid did not feel like going home to poop. And I'm like, so the next best thing was to shit in my bushes? That's some rationale you got there, Zoryab. I can't. This is just the beginning, too, with these kids.